Let's kick things off with TikToker Spencer Hunt, more famously known as Spencewuah, who's calling out his ex-boyfriend Louis Burgeon on TikTok after he posted a series of screenshots where Louis is implying that Spencer is actually lying. The pair started dating in December 2020. However, in March, people started speculating that the couple had already broken up with each other. And now Spencer has finally broken his silence to tell everyone that Louis has actually cheated on him with someone else, which is why their relationship ended. Yikes! Now, when Spencer came out with his side of the story, telling everyone about how Louis was unfaithful to him, Louis wasn't going to take it without a fight. Which is why he went on to share screenshots of their conversation showing that the breakup between them was amicable, and that Spencer had promised not to share any details publicly. One of the texts from Spencer read, "I'm not making any videos addressing what happened. I don't think it's anyone's business and I'd like this to remain private between us." In another one, Spencer says that, "I know you didn't use me for clout, so please don't think that that thought ever crossed my mind," which is completely opposite to one of Spencer's recent claims where he said that Louis only ever dated him for clout. Now, Spencer decided to respond to all of this with another TikTok where he completely exposed Louis.
For those wondering, yes, those are screenshots of texts that I sent him. But what he failed to mention in his video is I sent those texts within the first 2 weeks of our breakup. Sent those messages before I found out that he tried to hook up with his ex, before I found out that he lied to me about his race, and before I found out he had told 2 of his friends he only wanted to talk to me because I'm a TikToker.
Yikes, things are not looking so good for Louis, are they? Since then, Louis has not responded to any of Spencer's videos, but we have a feeling that this drama is far from over. Moving on from that to one of the internet's favorite YouTubers right now, let's talk about Ethan Klein, who is currently being sued by Triller's event company for unlawfully airing the Jake Paul versus Ben Askren boxing match on YouTube. The lawsuit seeks $50 million in damages from the H3 podcast host and his wife, Tayler.
Oh my god.
An episode of the podcast aired on April 22nd, featuring one clip from the fight that took place on April 17th, and showed footage from Paul's knockout streamed from an unlisted YouTube video uploaded on the Klein's channel as Ethan offered commentary. Now, after the lawsuit, Ethan talked about the whole drama in another episode of his podcast, claiming that Triller was only doing this out of spite, and that his use of the footage was completely fair use.
Fraud them of $100 million. All comes down to the H3 podcast watching a 45-second clip and fair usage 5 days after the live event,
said Ethan in his defense. According to Ethan, Triller is trying to defraud a bunch of people of $100 million in losses, but the company has since then only refiled their case against the H3 podcast in the case of finding insufficient evidence against everyone else. Ethan still believes that using a 45-second clip from the match 5 days after it aired live is enough reason for him to win his lawsuit. Why? Well, because this isn't Ethan's first lawsuit related to copyright. In 2017, he won a lawsuit against YouTuber Matt Haas, who claimed that the clips Klein used in his commentary videos infringed on his copyright. The judge ruled that the use of Haas's videos was fair use, setting a legal precedent for YouTube commentary videos. But as far as this case goes, I guess we can only wait to find out what happens. Next up, we have Rihanna, who is the latest celebrity to face backlash over the rising tensions between Israel and Palestine. People are calling Rihanna out for her insensitive tone as she went on Instagram and talked about the situation unfolding in the Palestinian region. Similar to celebrities like Gal Gadot and Bibi Rexha, people were extremely disappointed with Rihanna's choice of words.
Sad.
If you want to stand with humanity, stand with Palestine, said a fan, criticizing Rihanna for her neutral tone. People also referred to Rihanna's Free Palestine statement back in 2014, asking her why her stance changed so much. It's not the first time Riri has been pulled into the Israel-Palestine conflict. In 2014, she tweeted #FreePalestine, causing another social media firestorm. Although the singer tried to backpedal on her international political view by deleting the post, it was retweeted nearly 70,000 times before she took it down. Since then, the singer hasn't responded to any of the backlash. Moving on to some drama that's stirring up between Addison Rae and her ex Bryce Hall, everyone has been speculating why these two have suddenly called it off, with a lot of people thinking the breakup happened because Bryce cheated on Addison. However, Addison has recently squashed all these rumors on her podcast That Was Fun. Addison talked about how it was literal torture for her to see people assuming the worst about how her relationship ended, while none of that was true.
And it sucks. I mean, it's like hearing so many people have an assumption over what actually happened and then what didn't happen, and then people take sides, and then it's like, You don't even know, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you because it's not your place.
She ended the conversation by saying that she doesn't even know what's happening, so it's really not fair for people to expect her to explain it to them while she's obviously still trying to process it herself. You tell them, Addison. Speaking of Bryce, is there ever a day that passes by without this TikToker landing himself into some sort of trouble? This time around, it all started when Bryce Hall, along with his friends Tayler Holder, Mikey and Rylan Storms, went to a San Diego State University frat party, where the group was allegedly bullied into leaving the area. Tons of videos from the party have been leaked online, where you can see the whole group being bullied by the people at the party and even getting their hats stolen off their heads. According to Bryce, the group was invited to the party, and when they showed up, everyone started trolling them. People even went as far as to corner their Uber and vandalize the car. After telling his side of the story, Bryce tweeted that he was going to be pressing charges and seeking financial compensation from the fraternity that hosted the party. Now, after all of this went down, Jake Paul also went in and weighed on the situation, commenting, "What have I started?" referring to last week when Jake stole Floyd Mayweather's hat and ran off with it at the first press event for Mayweather's upcoming fight with Logan Paul. However, things turned sour when Paul stole the 50-year-old great's hat, which provoked a brawl as an angry Mayweather raged at the apparent disrespect, telling Jake that he was going to kill him. Yikes! While the whole thing got pretty heated, Jake felt so strongly about the hat debacle that he got a tattoo of "Gotcha Hat" on his thigh with an image of a hat below it. Jake is also selling merchandise including hats, shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, and stickers that say "Gotcha Hat." Mayweather and Logan Paul are set to face each other in the ring on June 6th, but who knows what else Jake has planned before that.
Gotcha hat. I'm sorry.